So would you make a movie again?
It's a great question. I would never want to say never, but it's a tough business. I mean, there are movies out there that are phenomenal.
Right.
Don't make, it's just like, your luck of the draw. I mean, think about these movies that became cult classics later where they made literally nothing when they came out, It's a big risk. And I would only make a movie in the future if we had some guarantees. And you need to have the leeway to actually make the changes too. That's what we didn't have. We had our little cap here and like, okay, we hit the ceiling. Had we made some more changes too, I think it would have come out a lot better.
But all those changes have a denomination of money to connect.
You need to factor
it
it in the beginning.
Right. I was going to ask you, what would be the difference if you started another movie today? What would you do differently?
I would stick to our gut. The original idea where it excited people, we shouldn't have strayed from that.
Yeah.
That would be number one. Number two is, the whole distributor being smarter about that. They're going to look at the future. But, a lot of things we did right. We had the right actors, we had the right writer. I thought the story was great,
Is there any, like, again, you were kind of joking about like this podcast having the resurging factor and driving more
and I wasn't
views.
Planning on this, by the way.
Yeah, but listen, but you never know.
Just so you know, I don't even know. I walked in here not even knowing a thing what we were going to talk about.
That's why we like it. Keep it all
Listen, seriously, you never know what could happen. But is there like a planned approach that you can take to, let's say, if you said right now you want to give it another go with this movie, do you reach out to people for additional promotion, or how does that work?
Honestly, I was the money part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my two very good friends who were the principals, they were more knee deep, and they would come back to us and say, look, here are our options, here what we do. But they were the ones that were actually doing all the negotiation, and we were just working it, outside of it. So, doing it again, though, again, stick to your laurels, stick to the idea that got you there in the first place. And I think when you listen to all these people, and it's just like, look at these huge movies, that with hundreds of $1 million budgets fail, right? Because everybody has their input. Just stick to your gut, I think. And I think at the end of the day, if you fail knowing you stuck to your gut, I think you feel better. And then listening to everybody else and then failing, it's like, why did I listen? At least, fall on your own sword.
Interesting. How was John Stamos as a person?
He was awesome.
Really?
And, casting too, we met a lot of other actors. We met a bunch of the actors from Entourage.
Oh, that's sick.
The guy who played Turtle.
Really?
And what was the woman there, the girlfriend?
I can't help you.
Salma Hayek? Is it
Can't
Salma
help you.
Hayek?
I forget it. Anyway, we met. They were great. We had some really great dinners and stuff. You have this courting at this point because we actually weren't paying them. We were going to give them, a cut of the movie. So they're courting us because they wanted, they thought it was a great script, funny script, and then at the same time, the reciprocal. But John Stamos was so awesome to hang out with, a real guy, and he would just tell these stories, and it was crazy. Like, he's a music guy. I don't know if you realize this, but he's drummed for the Beach Boys. He's a big music guy. Even on Full House, you see a lot of episodes where he's drumming. But anyway, he's a big music guy, and I'm a big music guy. And we started talking about music, but he would just be like, "Yeah, Springsteen was over last week, and with a couple, and we were jamming him." I'm like, "What?" Awesome. You and Bruce were just jamming. I'm like, I'm sitting with a guy at dinner just telling me like he jammed with Bruce Springsteen. I'm like, you just, kind of like it takes you to another a level of like, wow, I can't believe how close I am to like these megastars. But he was just this down to earth guy. And at the time he was like, I was showing him pictures of my family, and he's like, I really want a family one day. I haven't found the right girl, and I'm happy now that you see he's found. He's got a family and and everything. And he was a real genuine guy. I loved him. And we took walks around the street where you mentioned Mercer Street. He was mentioning Mercer Street before. That's one of the streets we filmed on. We actually blocked it off. And I remember taking a walk, and he was just talking about life, and he's a cool guy. My wife fell in love with him the second she saw him.
Shocker.
And it was like, can I take my picture with him?
Do you stay in touch with him still or no?
No. Some of the guys, the two principals do though.
Cool. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this clip, be sure to check this one out right here because it's just as good or maybe even better.